Where do you think the music business is going?
It's always changing.
Yeah.
It changes so much. And even like when I first started 12 years ago, it was like what we had was like the CDs weren't selling anymore. And so and Napster had been ripping everyone was downloading, and SoundCloud had arrived, and it was the beginning of Hype Machine. And so people weren't selling records. The industry was getting really small. Everyone was kind of really scared, but here was this weird thing, Hype Machine, that could blow up songs in a day.
Yeah.
And that's when publications were really important, and getting on blogs.
Yes, yeah.
And not just the pitchforks, the small ones that could impact Hype Machine.
Yeah.
And that was such a huge part of it, and media was so strong, and PR was so important. It was the most important thing, right? And then that changed when Spotify came along.
Yeah.
And Spotify and Apple, and then the thing that was breaking artists was playlisting, and blogs and publications didn't have the same impact that they used to, and it was all based off of what playlist could you get on, and whether or not the DSPs liked your music. And if you made music that sounded good on playlists, people started making music for playlists. Like, that was a weird era. And then that changed. And then now, at first it was YouTube before it was TikTok. So like, can you, and Facebook ads and Instagram ads, like people were getting really good at digital marketing. People were posting covers on YouTube and doing crazy music videos and having stuff go viral on YouTube and Twitter.
Yeah. Gangnam stuff.
That was super important.
Yeah.
And now we're kind of in this like TikTok world or short form content world where playlisting doesn't have, like, can't break artists. It's only a part of the marketing plan. And radio can't do much anymore. You know, it's only part of the marketing plan, and it's all being driven by social media and TikTok, and because of the way that the platforms work, especially something like a Spotify or YouTube, it's about driving consumption from like a TikTok or an Instagram reel, and then when you can drive fans to the platform, then the Spotify algorithms kick in. Right. And then, that's when the platform is being used at its best, because it gets a shit ton of data, and then it's capable of taking that data and being like, we know you will be fans of these people. And so, Discover Weekly or radio or even personalized playlists, they kind of, that's when it really starts working. But it all starts with short form content. Which is very different, because we've kind of seen it's kind of gone from, it's been gatekeepers for maybe like 60 years. Yep. And for the first time ever, it's in the hands of the artist. Nobody gets to own who becomes famous. Mm-hmm. It's the people get to decide. And so through short form content, TikTok, it's in the hands of the artists. So it's changed. It's hard to So the answer to that question is, I have no idea where it's going.
Yeah, what's the next step?
I don't know
past that? No.
I just know that like you just gotta adapt.
Yeah.
You're constantly adapting, and when something gets old, you gotta study. Okay, how did that happen? How did that happen? How did that happen? And like pick little pieces of how other people were able to build careers, and then try to find your path that way.
Do you think that the it's not on my page here, but do you think that the mysterious artists can still like be a thing?
No, I think it's funny, because that was also part of so when it was based off of gatekeepers, so like and even before, I even missed, like when I started, we had blogs, but before that it was radio. Yeah. Right?
Sure.
And so you always had gatekeepers. You had radio, you had publications, you had Spotify, and then you have what we have now, which is like the new world that we live in for music. But you had to be mysterious. You know what I mean? Because you had to kind of, when it was gatekeepers, you had to build like a almost like a story around what you were doing to get gatekeepers excited. So like it had to be like, this is cool and this is you know what I mean? Like don't tell them they have no faces and they don't like and this idea of what a star was is they were very untouchable.
Yeah.
They were just this thing, you know, stars and people were just like they were so different from one another. Mm-hmm. And now it just doesn't work. Like you have to be, I think now the generations have completely changed. I think Gen Z and probably Gen Alpha want to feel like they relate to their stars.
Yeah.
And so when you try to do a weekend, you know, because the weekend was very mysterious, very cool, it just doesn't work because even if you have gatekeepers, it's not enough to build a career off of. Mm-hmm. And so you need to find ways to get close to people and to connect with people. And like nobody connects with mysterious people anymore. Like you're not giving them anything.
Yeah. I'm thinking about like some of my favorite bands of all time, like a Radiohead.
Yeah.
Okay? A Radiohead they could exist and they are still existing in today's world, but they couldn't like restart. Like there's so many artists now that it's like
no, like Tom York wouldn't be like, "Hey, what's up?" You know what I mean? Exactly. But maybe like this is the thing is that like everyone gets so. This is why short form content is like more. Is like the word over like a TikTok because I think that like anyone can build a world around themselves. And so like Radiohead, I think they could still do it, but they would have to tie like they would have to find really interesting ways to film their live show.
Yes.
Or build, you know, like they would have to like a, you know, Jungle brought back the music video. Right? So they would have to, maybe they would invest in crazy, weird music videos and then just find ways to kind of like grab people that way.
Yeah.